Welcome back, everybody. When you have an injury, we know it can disrupt daily life, but if that injury occurs at work, you're entitled to compensation.
That's right, and joining us now from Tabak Law to chat about workers' compensation benefits is attorney and partner Alex Eichhorn, along with John Noonan, who is an associate attorney. Thanks for being here, you guys.
Well, good morning, and thank you so much for having us again.
Morning, guys.
Absolutely, this is a big deal. I mean, a lot of people think about being injured at work, and then they're kind of like, I don't know what to do when it actually happens. So what's the first thing that someone should do if they're actually injured at work?
Yeah, and I'll take the first question here. So the first thing definitely is to report the injury to your employer. They have to know in order for a claim to be filed. And then following up to ensure that claim is filed and that you get a claim number, and then that you're following up with the medical care that's necessary. And really maybe the most important step then is to give our office a call. You know, the consultation's risk-free. You're going to speak with myself, John, or another skilled associate, and with that conversation, you're going to have a really good idea of what benefits you're entitled to and how to protect those benefits along the way.
Do you find, that people often think the injury might go away, so they don't report it right away?
Yeah, absolutely. You know, that's really common. I think anyone who's injured at work doesn't want to admit it right away.
Right.
You know, if I walked out of here and hurt my knee, which would be covered, this is considered an extension of work. So walk out of here, twist my knee, I'm not right away filing a claim, right? You believe it's going to get better, but when 3-4 weeks pass and it's not better, it's a problem. And now that also can be a problem that I hadn't filed the claim earlier, because work comp's going to say, oh, if you injured yourself, you would have filed it immediately. And it's just not the reality of it. You know, I think a delay of 3-4 weeks, maybe even months, is not that abnormal, especially if it's a back injury. You tweak your back, and then 2 months later, you're still having the same problems. It's not abnormal at all.
Well, you make such a good point, too, because people wouldn't think of you being here as being part of your working and that you got hurt at work. They would think maybe it would be in your office or in the courthouse or something like that. So that, I think, is a really great point. John, what about people who are Spanish speaking, for example, and they're hurt at work? Can you work with them? Can your office still help them?
Yeah, we definitely can help with Spanish-speaking clients. We have, in our practice, noticed that there is a need for more attention toward the Spanish-speaking community and injuries that might occur to Spanish-speaking workers. And we are doing everything in our power to broaden that access, providing additional services to accommodate Spanish-speaking clients, yes.
Nice. What are some benefits that people are actually entitled to if they're injured and they do report it?
Yeah, so in that situation, you know, I walk out of here, I'm injured, and I'm unable to work. I'm entitled to my wages being paid while I'm off at a rate of 2/3 of your average weekly wage, with no taxes being taken out. So it ends up being comparable. You're also entitled to the cost of mileage to and from your doctor's visits, all of your medical bills with no copay to be paid. And then, depending on the extent of the injury, you may be entitled to some additional compensation for what's called permanent partial disability if the injury is permanent. Or if you're unable to return to work in that same capacity, there's retraining, or what's called the loss of earning capacity claim, where you may not be able to ever return to work ever again. You're entitled to lost wages for the remainder of your life.
Wow.
So those claims can be substantial.
Yeah, the benefits that people have are huge.
Yeah.
John, what if people want to see their own doctor after they've been hurt at work?
They can see their own doctor. In Wisconsin, you have the right to see your own doctor to pursue your treatment as it relates to a work injury. And this is something we encourage people to do if they so choose, because they have that element of comfort and familiarity that really goes a long way.
Yeah, because they know their medical past. It's really nice that that is the case in our state.
Yeah, because there's trust built there, right?
Yeah.
So what if you can't return at all due to restrictions? I mean, I would imagine that happens quite often.
Yeah, it does. You know, and we unfortunately see hundreds, you know, we've helped thousands of individuals, and yes, it happens frequently where, especially construction workers, you can see a 55-year-old man or woman who's been working in construction for their whole life, sustains a bad back injury and can no longer lift over 5 pounds.
Right.
You know, they're 55, maybe 60, so their retrainability is somewhat limited, and they've been doing that job their whole life. So that's where we get into that loss of earning capacity. So it can be on a spectrum from, say, the person can go work now as a receptionist and making significantly less wages. So say he's making $40 an hour and now he can make $10 an hour. He sustained a loss of earning of 75%. So there's calculations that determine the exact value of that claim, but again, substantial, and that's to compensate this individual for a substantial loss of wages during the remainder of his life.
Yeah,
That's pretty impressive.
Attorneys have to be good at math
Yeah,
too, apparently.
And that's
No,
70%
calculators.
here, 20% there.
I got a calculator for sure. It seems like it would take such a long time. If people ask, how long is this process going to take? What do you say to them?
So we tell them it varies. This is all dependent upon how long it takes for them to go through the healing process. So, we have to take it case by case and assess an individual client's situation before we tell them, exactly how long it's going to take, because it varies, to be completely honest.
Yeah.
I think the biggest thing is that risk-free consultation. Get a consultation, find out exactly what you're entitled to so that you're not leaving anything out there as well.
Yeah, don't wait.
Yeah, thanks you guys. Good to
Thanks
have you
to
both
both
here.
of
Thank you so much for having us
Appreciate
again.
it.
Tabak Law offers that 100% risk-free consultation. To contact Tabak for the payback, call them. It's 414-351-4400, or for more information, visit tabakattorneys.com.